Peace to the God, shout out to the goddesses. I go by Naafie, Bay, the hip hop magi, or Naafie for short. You already know the vibes. POE the gang. Perception is everything. That actually hurt my elbow. And I just wanted to make a video right quick talking about, responsibility, right? Or the power of responsibility. I had Mercury retrograde is over at the time I'm recording this video. So, we coming fresh out, fresh out, first day out, you know what I'm talking about? And I was really just, during most of the retrograde, I was just thinking about not only my own work ethic and things like that, but also the power of, responsibility, right? Because when we have like a gift, when we're able to do like a task, right? There's a certain weight that comes with that. So, right, if you are a gifted mechanic, you know what I'm saying, you're great at fixing cars, you know everything about cars, right? There's a responsibility you have when fixing other people's cars, right? They want you to essentially fix their car in the best way possible. You know what I mean? They want you to be able to do it in the best way possible. So, when it comes to just any car that you work on, it's like you have a responsibility to each person's car that you fix, that you're going to do a great job, and that your work is going to be quality, right? So I use that metaphor simply to kind of bridge into saying that when we're able to really like use our gifts, or we have a certain influence, or etc., right? There's a responsibility that comes with that, right? If you're an influencer or someone who people can listen to, and gain insight and ultimately see themselves in a proper light, it becomes almost like not necessarily that you owe to the other people, but you really owe it to yourself more than anything to do things at the best of your ability, to the best way that you know how. And I think that, and I went through this, so I can tell you, like that we get afraid to exercise our power sometimes because of the weight of what comes with it, right? So just to kind of give you a peek, right? Like, I realize how dope I am as an artist, right? I realize how powerful I am just on the spiritual level, like, because listen, ancestors be looking out always, you know what I'm saying? So just realizing those things and the influence that I have to make certain things happen, make certain things manifest, etc., right? And for a while, I was very much so like afraid of that, because I'm like, yo, what if I mess up? You know what I mean? People that know me know that I'm kind of a perfectionist. So, I don't do certain things without making sure that it's calculated to the best of my ability. And just looking at what power has done to other people, right? Or seeing great men with power, end up abusing it, or go completely left field with the shit. Like, I was on that same wavelength of like essentially just being afraid to like make mistakes with my own power, because I understand that one decision can alter the course of not only my life but numerous lives, and that's not to say I haven't made mistakes. Listen, your boy done trip, stumble, hit his head, all of that, you know what I mean? And as I've gotten older and as I've gotten wiser, I've realized that like the greatest hiccup would be like not even making an attempt, you know what I mean? So having this great power, having this potential, being this infinitely powerful being that we are as humans, and not actualizing that potential, not making an attempt to solve the problems, right? Whether it's just, your particular problems, which then translate over to the collective problems, right? Because we are one and the same. Me just putting out my music can alter the course of lives. You know what I mean? So, this is really just a video for those who know that they're powerful, but sometimes feel like, there's going to be some stumbling blocks that come with it, or, not feel, no, there's going to be stumbling blocks that come with it. You know what I mean? Or who feel the burden of that power. You know what I mean? Because, they said in Spider-Man, you did, and we heard it, but we didn't hear it. We heard it, we didn't listen, or I should say. With great power comes great responsibility, and that's true, because you not only owe it to yourself to do things at the highest level, but those who support you, right? You owe it to them to do it at the highest level, right? And that's not to say that you're solely responsible for other people's lives. That's not necessarily the case, because people make their own decisions. People do what they want to do, and they can choose to not even be around you. 9 times out of 10, people make their own choices into, you know what I mean? The predicaments that people end up in are a result of their own decisions. Most people don't want to admit that, but that's what it is. The predicaments you in is on you, fam, because you made the choice, right? You can't blame anyone else for your choices. It's what karma is, cause and effect, right? Because you did this, you get this result, So we can't necessarily put that on us. Like, we don't put people's decisions on ourselves. In that same token, by being our best version and making the best decisions with what we're able to do, we inspire others to make better decisions. We inspire others to move differently, right? So, this is for those people. This video is really for the folks who, see their own power and are sometimes afraid to move, or, afraid of messing up, or not wanting to abuse their power, right? All I can say with that is, or with this anyway, the biggest thing with power is desire, right? And this can branch off in numerous number of ways, right? Because we as humans have natural desires. We have an innate desire to reproduce, right? You know what I mean? We have an innate desire to want to eat, right? Drink water, do things that we deem fun or pleasurable, right? And when you have power, right, when you have certain abilities, right, it's important to understand what those desires are for you, right? It's important to know what drives you. You know what I mean? A lot of people in yogic traditions and anyone who's really in tune with themselves know that you have to have control over your desires. You don't let your desires control you, or rather, when a desire presents itself, you have to know how to control yourself, right? You have to know the proper decision to make when desires come up. And I done stumbled and fumbled, you know what I mean, as we all have, right? But through it all, I've learned to curb certain desires, for real. I used to like smoking, you know what I mean? I used to love the feeling, all of that. Now it's I don't really want to smoke, and if the desire comes up, I know how to say no, you know what I mean? And even with eating certain foods, right? On the vegan journey, of course, like I said, I stumbled and fumbled a few times, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I'm plant-based. So sometimes when certain desires come up, I'm able to say no, right? And that type of discipline takes time, right? Especially with your desires, because, we immediately seek a pleasure, right? That's kind of how things can be manipulated, right? If they know that, and I say they, I know what I'm talking about, when people are aware of your desires, they can manipulate them, or not manipulate them, but they can present those desires to you to manipulate you. So it's extremely important to understand what your desires are and control them, or learn how to make better decisions. Look at the end goal. Like, when it comes to food, right? We have a desire to eat certain foods. You have to ask yourself, does this food actually serve me in the long run? The general consensus is dependent. Like, if it's like a mainstream food, answer probably no. Like, they put shenanigans in the food. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So you and coming back to the power talk, right? Coming back to the power decision, right? It's really just us realizing that with this power, like, there's going to be a desire to exercise it. And it's really just about making the best decisions with what you're able to do. So I know I'm a powerful poet. I'm not going to rap shenanigans, right? That's the responsibility that I have as a poet, because one, I'm not trying to manifest that, because words manifest. And two, my intention is to uplift, and I can't uplift with gum bars. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that, So, while also telling the truth, because I can't lie on wax. Like, you know what I mean? Haven't told a lie yet. Don't plan on it. Because the lie catches up with you anyway. Like, so with that being said, learn how to exercise your power for the greatest good of everyone, not just yourself. Of course, make sure that everyone, and see, I just thought of this is funny. Like, when I say like, exercise your power for the good of everyone includes you. So it's like, you're not excluded from it. You know what I mean? Like, we are all one, just different. It's like we're all one hand. Like, think about all of these fingers as one, as a individual, but they're all a part of the hand, right? And you need all 5 fingers to grab something, right? So when you make a decision, like, the thumb is powerful, but the thumb by itself can't, like, grab stuff. You know what I mean? It needs, like, the index finger, or like the middle. You know what I mean? Like, of course it's an important appendage, but without the rest of the appendages, you're not grabbing shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but at the same token, without the thumb, it's hard to grab things as well. So it all pieces work together. And even though the thumb is powerful, it's about working in tandem with the rest of the appendages in order to grab. So using that metaphor, like, although we are all powerful in our own way, right? It takes working in tandem for the good of everyone to get a result, and everyone includes your happy ass. So, like, you're not excluded from exercising your power, right? So if you're good at something, right? If you have an innate skill, you might as well go ahead and see how you can use that gift to benefit everyone, not just yourself, right? This is why people who have business models that specifically, like, help individuals, they see success, because now they have a business that helps people. So they, you know what I mean? It's their business. So they're going to get compensation for their good or service, and they're serving the community. So everyone wins. You know what I mean? And I think that moving forward, this is going to be the business model. And it really has been the business model, you know what I mean? But we bringing it back to the forefront, you know what I mean? So, don't feel so, don't let the weight of what you're able to do stop you from doing it. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, like, you exercising your gift and seeing how you can help, it's going to alleviate that pressure a little bit, because it's something that you already do naturally, right? And, I hope this wasn't too much rambling or, confusing or anything like that. I really just want to kind of stick to that. And, you do have a responsibility to yourself as well as the collective with the gift. But, don't let it stop you. And just make sure that you're helping others along the way. Make sure it helps everyone, and everyone includes you. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down. I ain't gonna pollute earwaves too long. You know what I mean? I like to keep it short, simple, sweet. Um, I do have bee bread available on the website. I may do a video about that, kind of busting down bee bread and like really what it is, what it does for you. You know what I mean? It's a great honey mixture. It contains, I don't know how many minerals. Like, it's really, really, really good for you. I also have, the poetry book, of course. Get the ebook or the book off Amazon. All my albums are available for download on the site as well. So if you're noticing that my music isn't on these streaming platforms, this is why. You know what I mean? I value my art because I'm giving some game that can ultimately change your whole life, and I've seen it change lives firsthand. So definitely check out the music. I do have freestyles and stuff available. It's not naked yet, you know what I'm saying? But we're definitely transitioning to being on our own platform, being in our own space. This is kind of the way to go, I feel, because these companies aren't conducive to us, right? Direct to consumer, forget the middleman. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, all these streaming services are middlemen. You can stream it on your own site. You can download it on your own site. Why not do that? If you are interested in a cardology consultation or just a consultation in general as far as your creative ventures, feel free to go to the POE shop and look at the booking site and kind of see what we focus on. I personally specialize in like intellectual property, business structure, and what's the word I want to say? Spiritual development. So I use kind of cardology as well as like the different things that I've used in my journey to talk about like spiritual development. So that's my angle, that's my approach. So with that being said, guys, I'm out of here. Peace and love.